What's going on, guys? It's your boy the Mana Shark, and today we're going to be playing some traditional draft of Core Set 2020. I've just been killing it with drafts, and I'm looking to add another amazing draft to the books. So let's get this started. Wow. So pack one is looking pretty fire. We have Gargos, Vicious Watcher, a 6 mana 8/7 vigilance that makes your Hydras cost 4 less. That part's a little irrelevant in draft. And whenever a creature you control becomes a target of a spell, Gargos fights up to one creature you don't control. So in any case, it's just a big fatty, and then from there it gets a lot better if you have any pump spells or anything like that. And aside from him, we have Warden of Evo's Isle, just a really strong flyer that enables, especially like the blue-white flyers deck, to really just take off. Chandra Spitfire, a fairly decent creature. I found it to not be as good as I thought it would be, but still, fairly strong as just a decent flyer. And Boreal Elemental, very solid blue common flyer that is a good pickup, as well as Silverback Shaman, just a good green fatty that most green decks want a copy or two of. So, and Boneclad Necromancer, which is a fairly good black common, but a little too early for that. So I don't think there's much of a choice here. Gargos is one of the best rares you could be pulling. So we're going to pick him up, and I think if he wasn't in the pack, I would be inclined to take Warden of Evo's Isle just as a very good blue flyer. Alright, so this pack we have Captivating Gyre card that's not too great. Good hate spell over these two guys, Devout Decree and Noxious Grasp. Not a ton we care about, but then there's a Murder, which is, a premium removal spell. Silverback Shaman, a great creature, and Mammoth Spider, another great creature. So with it being this early in the draft, I'm happy to take either Murder, which is the best card but off color from our first pick, or Silverback Shaman if we just wanted to dive right in. And I think we're fairly happy to be playing green and we're going to push for it. But Murder is just a great card, so if you could end up in green-black, that would be fantastic, because we'd have a Murder. And we might even be able to table, I found bots don't really value these highly. We could probably table Noxious Grasp, which is a great sideboard card. So this pack is not that great either. In terms of cards, we would even consider Thought Distortion is a pretty terrible card in Limited. Never play it. A bunch of mediocre creatures. Healer of the Glade is not a good card, not even for sideboard games. It does nothing. We have Mammoth Spider, a very solid 5-drop common, and Netcaster Spider, which is basically just a smaller version of it. I'm a bigger fan of Mammoth Spider, as it just holds the ground a lot more, and I'm sure we can pick up some either or. These spiders float around a lot. So, alright, this pack we have God's Willing, fairly solid white protection spell. Uncaged Fury is pretty decent, nothing too great. Aerial Assault as a decent removal spell, and in terms of on-color stuff, it's like Epicure of Blood, which is a very mediocre creature, especially if we were in green-black. Soul Salvage, which if you have creature bombs, gets significantly better. And in our case, we have Gargos, and Greenwood Sentinel. God's Willing does combo well with Gargos, which is nice. And it is a good card. On the other hand, that would put us into a third color, right? Like we'd be straying off to the side, and maybe that means not playing the Murder, or realistically splashing God's Willing is not worth it, and splashing Murder is hard because it's double black. So if we look at the pick that way, it would be almost as if we were picking between Murder and God's Willing, and that doesn't work out. So I think the pick actually comes down to either Soul Salvage or Greenwood Sentinel, and ultimately they both are cards we're going to see plenty of. I'm just going to go with the 2-drop here, as that sometimes is a problem, is just not getting enough 2-drops in your deck. And this pack we have a Scampering Scorcher, great card if you're in the Elementals deck, and maybe we're in Elementals. Maybe we're in Elementals, but the more solid pick here, which is on color. So, yeah, our picks: Scampering Scorcher, great card in the Elemental deck. Netcaster Spider, just a solid 3-drop that we're happy to take. Undead Servant, once you have like 4 or 5 copies, like 3 I'm interested, 4 I'm playing, and I think it's a little too early. These cards will wheel, absolutely. And Evolving Wilds, just a solid card that can help splash as well, if anything is worth splashing. We're going to go with the Netcaster Spider here, and we'll keep our eyes out for more Undead Servants. And so here there's Salvager of Ruin, which is very mediocre, but it's conditional. On its own, it's a 3-mana 2/1, not even a 2/2. Like, it doesn't do enough. Nothing really else. Sorcerer of the Fang is like just a crappy body. Feral Invocation, a decent combat trick that sticks around. And the pick here is going to be Sedge Scorpion. 1-mana, 1/1 Death Toucher. 1-drops and 2-drops are essentially the same in Limited, because you're typically not playing 1-drops at all. But of the 1-drops you could be playing, Sedge Scorpion is one of the best. So we're going to be playing it, because oftentimes it could trade with like 4-mana creatures and ping in some damage here and there. So this pick we have Steadfast Sentry, which is decent. We don't really care about. Piranha and Vampire, mediocre. Sorcerer. Like, this pack's pretty crummy. And then there's Goblin Smuggler. If we were considering red over black, he is a decent pickup. But ironically, like, he doesn't work that well with green. But he is a great card. And then we have Evolving Wilds, which is a pickup for us, because even if we don't end up like strict green black, maybe with enough mana fixing we can still splash the Murder or something. And there's nothing like Smuggler doesn't even work with our with like big green creatures anyway. It's more for like red black or red white or something. But that's the second Smuggler that's passed, so maybe that's a sign. We have Gauntlets of Light, a card that maybe has some merit. Generally, you don't want to be playing any auras because you get 2 for 1. Soul Salvage, which we can definitely pick up one later. Brightwood Tracker, just as a decent creature that in board stalls, which happens a lot in this format, can help just get so much card advantage. And Vial of Dragonfire, a fairly mediocre removal spell that if you need playables, you play it. If you're trying to build a crazy deck with Heart Piercer bows and Weaponsmiths and all that, like, you play it. But we're going to take the Tracker here. All right, so this pack, we don't have really anything special. Squad Captain is fairly mediocre. You really need a big board state for it to even break. You need 3 other creatures just to make it break even. From there, it gets bigger and better, but it's not good enough. Anticipated card you don't care about. Sanitarium Skeleton. If you have like a ton of effects that need to sacrifice creatures, it's worth playing, but 99% of the time he is abysmal, and I don't want to be playing it. And Scorch Spitter, which it doesn't do anything either. So there's nothing really worth picking up here. We're going to take the Skeleton on the very off chance that we end up like needing it. And so now we have that Noxious Grasp that came around because bots don't really value these high. But I think they're great pickups. In real drafts as well, they might wheel around. They're towards the middle of the pack in terms of picks, because the reality is, with 5 colors and green or white, 40% of decks are going to be playing something that you can, at least 40%, right, are going to be playing, you can take it out. And that's 40% if they're monocolored. So that's actually incorrect. It's probably way higher than that. And yeah, Noxious Grasp is going to work a lot of the time. It's going to stay in the sideboard. There's nothing we really care about otherwise. Obviously, there's a Smuggler there, and at this point, if we weren't in green as our starting color, that's a good signal that red's open. Nothing we care about here. Out of everything, the best creature is just like Moorland Inquisitor as a 2-drop, or Barony Vampire as like a filler if we're playing Murder. I'm gonna pick it and hope to never have to play it. And here I have Inspiring Captain, which is fairly decent, and Fire Elemental. If you're really trying to get your elemental count up, it works. And we'll pick it in case maybe we get brought down that road, but I doubt it. And here we have the very late pick of Undead Servant, and very late, reasonably so, not like it's a surprise or anything. And Disenchant or Inspire Charge, they both, I guess Disenchant, if we end up in white, is easier to cast, and then there's Barony Vampire we hope to never play. Alright, so this pack we have much better things. Cavalier of Gales, which lets you brainstorm when it hits the battlefield, and it comes back into your deck. Yeah, it's really freaking strong. I don't know how realistic it is to play Cavalier of Gales and Gargos. It is quite the bomb, though. Aside from Cavalier, we have Chandra, just as a great card that gets a lot of value. Basically, you're just using her to just -2 and accumulate a lot of value of just maybe you -2 it twice and it kills 2 things. And it even has like the fully functioning, like we're used to War of the Spark Planeswalkers that basically, hit the battlefield, they minus a couple of times and they just stick around there. Whereas this uncommon Planeswalker actually has merit as a full Planeswalker where she's able to plus and minus, which is absolutely huge. Then we have Woodland Champion, decent 2-drop. And Pacifism, one of the best commons in the set. Audacious Thief, I'm really a big fan of it. I think it's one of the better commons in the set as well, and I've seen a lot of really great tempo plays involving him. Necromancer, solid common. Gorging Vampire, Vulture, another great common. And then like a Mammoth Spider. So this pack is stacked. I actually forgot about Bloodthirsty Airless, but I guess we're still interested in it, though. It is a 3-mana 2/3 flyer. Is Cavalier of Gales, right? I don't think we can realistically play it. We're not playing this Undead Servant. But we maybe can. Maybe if we cut the Murder and we just go heavy on this green and blue plan. And we already have one piece of fixing to make it work. Because the thing is, every pick after it is just so much further behind. Chandra's still a great card, and I'm happy to pick it up as a splash, or Bloodthirsty Aerialist as a splash. But Cavalier is so freaking strong that I'm inclined to pick it up here. But there are plenty of just good cards for our deck. Let's go with it. It's fun and a little risky. Here we have Hanged Executioner, a great rare. Moldervine Reclamation, which can help with the grinds, but don't necessarily know if we need that. Octoprophet, just a great, solid common for blue, and Sedge Scorpion. So if we go with Octoprofit, which is the better card compared to Sedge Scorpion, it does put us in blue more. Or Sedge Scorpion, if we stick with the Murder over the Cavalier, then we it's like a more guaranteed pick. But I think we're gonna go with the Octoprofit because it is significantly better than Scorpion, and it looks like this pack is a good pack to hit blue. And here's a Cerulean Drake, which is a fairly decent flyer, and I'm happy to be playing it main deck, and it gets better against red. Boreal Elemental, which is another great card that it is a 5-drop, and we might be a little heavy on 5s. That's like the only concern, basically. But other than that, like, it is a great card. So I think the pick comes down to these two. As just, there's nothing else we really care about. Alter is pretty terrible, and you shouldn't be playing it almost ever. And Sprite and Befuddle are they're playable, but not cards you want to be on. And I think given how our deck is looking curve-wise, like we have plenty of fatter drops, I'm gonna go with the Cerulean Drake. Boreal Elemental, I think they're 1-1 in terms of like how close they are. But we need some lower drops to be able to get into the late game. And here we have a Woodland Champion. We don't have any token producers, I'm pretty sure. Nope. So it largely would just be a 2-mana 2/2. Maybe gets a little better as the draft goes on. Another Octoprofit or another Brightwood Tracker. I think Profit's better than Tracker, realistically. And yeah, I think Octoprofit is just the pick. Let's go there. So Jungle Hollow, it would be a pipe dream to splash this Murder. But that being said, there aren't any other cards we really care about in the pack other than like Feral Invocation, and that's really it. So part of me thinks like I should just go with it, and maybe if we hit like a bunch, but I think that's probably a little too greedy. Let's go with the Feral Invocation here. We're not playing this Murder. And you have Greenwood Sentinel as like just a decent 2-drop. 2 hate cards that we can't be playing. Yeah, let's just, and a Bone Splinters, which is not worth splashing, even though it is more splashable than Murder. So we're just gonna go with the Sentinel here, very okay 2-drop. And this pack here, we don't care about anything. Scorcher is really strong, and Raider is really pretty good too. Wolfkin Bond is abysmal, and Zephyr Charge is unplayable. So nothing we want to play here particularly. So I think the pick will just go to Scorcher. Maybe we just hit like an elemental pick, and all of a sudden like it is worth splashing if we get the right cards. And this pack, we basically have a choice between Sage's Road Denizen, which is just a 2/3, or Ferocious Pup, which is 2 bodies that make a 2/3. And I like Pup better. It doesn't like synergize with anything we have quite yet, but it does get better with some of the green cards. It's just more versatile, and Mill is negligible as an effect. It's actually beneficial for some decks. So, and Audacious Thief, great card that we're not playing. Miscreant, we wouldn't want one until we have like 3 or 4, but we don't care about anything else. So it's either that or maybe Healer of the Glade in case we really need like an elemental count for a weird effect we pick up. But I'm gonna go Miscreant. Maybe we can pick a couple up. And this pack, we don't care about anything. The best card is probably Ancestral Blade, and that is definitely not worth splashing. We're just gonna take this Natural End for the sideboard here, and the Befuddle here, prefer not to play it. Nothing we care about here either. It's a later aerial assault. Oh, wow. Okay, second big blue rare. Tempest All-Seeing. 6 mana, 4/5, draw 2, discard a card, deals damage to opponent. So I don't think that second condition is going to do anything for us. But that is a fat flyer. Aside from that, it's like Leafkin Druid, which is pretty good and actually what we would want for our deck now that we're having, you know, the big stuff. And like Bone to Ash, but we don't have any instant speed things to hold up mana for. Thicket Crasher, which is a fairly decent card, and Elemental if there's any synergies we pick up this pack. But we're gonna go with the Tempest here. We just really need to pick up Fixing. So this pack here we have Warden of Evos Isle, which currently synergizes with a Tempest, Cavalier, and Cerulean Drake. So that's fairly decent and lower on the curve, which is nice. We have a Rabid Bite, which synergizes with Garagos, and we have some, you know, fairly fat creatures. There's not a lot of great instant speed interaction. And it's just a premier removal spell. We have Frilled Sea Serpent, a card that I'm not crazy about. I prefer to never have to play it, and we have the fatties. Like we're covered over there on that end. So I think the pick pretty much just comes down to Warden versus Rabid Bite. And honestly, the way our draft is going, if I had to cut any of these like big guys for mana troubles, I'd probably just cut Garagos. And we don't really have that many targeted spells. We just have Feral Invocation. We could cast Befuddle on our own thing to trigger him. I'm going to go with the Rabid Bite here. I think given that we don't really have a lot of removal, it works with Garagos well. And while Warden's great, we do need some interaction. And here we have a Sorin, which doesn't really do anything in Limited. Yeah, it's cool, but I don't think it's really worth it. Cerulean Drake and Frostlinks, I think, are the picks, and Octoprophet. So we already have one Cerulean Drake, and I think having two might just be a little bit too much. We're going to grab the Frostlinks here. It buys us time and is just a great creature. Now we have anything we care about. Winged Words, which starts off as a divination and gets slightly better with a couple of our flyers. Or Courser, just as like a 3-drop dude. And I think the pick just goes to Winged Words. Yeah. And then this pack, we're going to pick up another Frostlinks and be ecstatic because it's a great common. Nothing we quite care about here. Like if we were looking at Red Lavakin Brawler, but we might just be short on playables, so we're probably going to have to play this Metropolis Sprite. And second Fairy Miscreant, but we wouldn't play either if we only had two. And here's a pup that will snap up. Second Feral Invocation, which we'd prefer not to play. But we do have to fit in one more playable, and we could not care less about any of these other cards. So let's pick it up and throw it in the sideboard and hope we find one more good playable. And yeah, nothing else we care about here. Right? Yeah, we can't play anything. So Plummet for the sideboard, that's a good pickup. Portal of Sanctuary, a card I don't really care for, but we are a little short on playables here. And this could be better than a land. I forgot Evolving Wilds is in that count. And how many enter the battlefield effects do we have? Crosslinks, Pup, Octoprofit. I don't think I'll ever use it on Cavalier, but Cavalier. Maybe in a very slow, grindy matchup, it's a good sideboard card. Nothing we care for here. And here. Okay. So we do have to play 2 cards that we really don't want to be playing. And this is our sideboard, so we have to fit 2 in. I think Plummet realistically is not that bad of a main deck card. Because there are so many decks that rock flyers. It's either that or Portal. This Evolving Wild's in. So two cards out of here. We could play a second Invocation or a second Befuddle. I'd imagine the second Invocation can just get us further, considering what we have. But let's take a look at our creature count and pull aside the non-creature spells. Just wow, this deck is hella greedy. So yeah, we can afford some more non-creature spells, and yeah, Portal's just if it let you do it on your opponent's turn, it would be so much better, but it would actually be maybe oppressive. So I think the pick, play the Plummet, and between Feral Invocation and Befuddle, Invocation works well with Galagos. It works well with some of our smaller flyers that can. Yeah, let's go with Invocation. So I'm back. Hey guys, I'm back. Couple days had actually passed. Some stuff popped up I had to take care of and couldn't wait. So we're gonna pick up where we left off here. Kind of lost a little bit of momentum in terms of remembering exactly what I was looking at with my draft. But yeah, the deck seemed decent. Great bombs, that's for sure. But we were playing some very questionable cards as like our 22nd and 23rd cards. This hand's a keeper here. We have a turn 2 Greenwood Sentinel or Cerulean Drake. If he's on red, that might be the better play. Ooh. And we'll drop the Evolving Wilds, just get our tap land out of the way. We're going to be fetching a blue because we're already looking at casting, you know, a Tempsis, big scary flyer. Grab an island. Play a forest, and so then we have Greenwood Sentinel or Cerulean Drake. When we're trying on turn 2, like if they want to offer, like if they're gonna take a trade, I'm happy with Greenwood Sentinel taking that trade. I'm also happy with if they don't play anything, because a lot of decks are actually get too greedy and don't play any 2-drops. Yeah, if we could beat in for 2 instead of 1, it's the better play. So Spectral Sailor hitting the board. As a body, it's a little bit negligible. Like 1/1 flyers don't do enough. So, you know, having a 2/2 haste is a tad scary. But we can block his flyer with our flyer. Really nice. And even though, yes, we could trade with here. If we're taking only 1 damage every turn, we have 17 turns to this game, and I'm happy letting this be for now. Yes, it could turn into card advantage later, if he turns into card advantage now, it means he's not doing anything. Right, Diamond Knight. This card's mediocre. It can get really big and gross, but for the most part, it's a little bit of a waste. Yeah, we're gonna swing in for 2 because it's a free attack. And Blightwood Tracker. So once we hit our 3rd blue, we have Cavalier of the Gales and Atemsis, and both of those are gross. Oh, and Garagos. Oh my god. We have the holy trinity of ginormous bombs in our hand. I'm going to set in the Sentinel and the Tracker. If he wants to do some crazy trade, if he wants to do trading or combat tricks, whatever, I'm happy that it happening on that rather than on our big 3. Cutthroat and Shock. Wow. His deck seems great. That sounded a little sarcastic, but his deck's good. Oh, okay. But yeah, now we have quite the board swinging at us. We're going to have to take 5. But yeah, rip our 6th land, and we are in the clear. Invocation. So, unfortunately, we'll have to just pass. Invocation could be really good with Garagos, but I'd rather survive than deal with like dying because I got greedy. Like once we have mana for Garagos, I think we're already in a good spot. So if it comes down to it, if he makes an all-out attack and swings, like maybe we can like bump Cerulean Drake or something and be able to eat the Stormkin. We do have to watch out for unsummon, but okay, Winged Words. Play that here. Hopefully that'll help us hit our lands. So we can play next turn. Nothing. We'll drop the Sedge Scorpion here. Just a good ground blocker. He's going to get to draw a card off Sailor again, which is unfortunate. But yeah. Kind of wish I had that enchantment in my deck that helps me ramp up a little bit, because we do have some very spicy meatballs on the top end. Alright, Brineborn Cutthroat. Wow, a deck with 2 Brineborns. That's great. Like, Brineborn goes from decent, but like if you have enough things to actually trigger it, oh my god, it gets disgusting. And an air elemental as well. So we'll block here to make sure we take out the Diamond Knight. Both these just get bigger naturally. It's actually probably easier to get the Diamond Knight bigger than this and has more toughness at the moment. And we could double block the Cutthroat, but I kind of want to hold on to this Cerulean Drake because it keeps this back. But it's close. I guess, you know, if we double block the Cutthroat, we're still like, we get pressure off the board, because if we take this 4 damage here, we go down to 7, and then the following turn, if he Alpha Strikes, yeah, well, we won't be in a good spot. So if he kills a Cerulean Drake, I'm fine with that, because this holds off the grounds against that, and that's a lot of damage as well. And now we're just going to drop Mammoth Spider here, and maybe we'll be able to hold off some attacks. We're just on our back foot, but once we get our blue, we have 2 ginormous flyers. Smuggler. Alright, Smuggler is actually very problematic this late in the game. Sprite. So we could go Sprite plus Pup. It would be nice to have stuff to like Brainstorm back. Does Sprite actually impact the board at all? Yeah, it does a little bit. Gives us, we kind of do need to make sure we cover our bases a little bit with these creatures. Oh, alright. Go down to 7 here. And Unchained Berserker, pro white. Okay. And Chandra Spitfire. Wowzers. Alright, so we hit our 6th land. We can play Garagos. Can you find lands? No, just creatures. Alright, we'll play Garagos. We survive this turn. We can Feral Invocation something to like fight something with Garagos. Is it fight or just deals damage? Fights. Okay. Keldon Raider. Wow, our opponent's deck is solid. So you can attack for 3. That's a big development. Dude. Down to 4. Rabid Bite. Okay. So now our opponent might, if they have an unsummon, we are screwed. But I think that's like without a doubt anyway. So here's what we can do. Whenever creature you control becomes target of a spell, any one spell. So we can target. We can have Mammoth Biter like fight something, or just deal damage equal to its power, and we can have Garagos fight like the Air Elemental. We'll have it fight the Smuggler, because that thing is scary. And have Garagos fight the Air Elemental. And then our next thing we'll have Garagos fight is target a creature. I'd rather do this like so we don't get screwed by an unsummon. That's why I'm doing it now. Honestly, let's just get the Sailor out of the way, right? I don't like, that's actually the most threatening. He has 2 flyers, and we have 2 things that can block flyers. Yeah, if we send in Garagos, he only has 4 toughness at the moment, and I'd rather not deal with that. So we're just gonna roll with it. Did take out quite a few creatures with that play. 3 creatures. Cavalier lets us brainstorm and it ATBs. Attempts kind of just exists, and then accumulates value, which is nice. Dude, his deck is great. Winged Words, all right. Played a Winged Words for 1. Can gain flying. Why are there so many goblins that could fly in this set? For real. So you could have 3 flyers. So yeah, we definitely need... Yes, a blue. Okay. So a Temsis or Cavalier. Cavalier's they both have 5 toughness. Cavalier sets up our next turn. In either way, I think we're gonna go one to the other. So let's go with Tempest. Maybe we'll draw next turn a card that we want to brainstorm away. And we'll attack with our Vigilance dude. It's free. Like, why not? If we turn the corner, we'll turn the corner really well. But we have to survive some incoming... Oh, we have more flyers. Red-blue flyers. Stupid goblin might get us. Who knows? So let's attack with our big boy here. And... yeah, just the big boy. Goodbye, Brianborn. And, 2 more attacks with him, and all of a sudden he will have to lose his flyers. So it does give us a little bit of inevitability, and now we get Cavalier to Brainstorm. Our opponent is probably screaming because we have 3 bombs in our deck that we played. Game 2. So our opponent was playing red-blue, like the perfect red-blue synergy deck. A couple of creatures with 1 toughness, but not a lot. So we can't actually even like sideboard in anything. It's really just like natural end, befuddle, portal. So like I think we kind of just have to roll with it. I'm happy with the plummet in the main deck. Hit a lot of flyers. Yeah, let's roll with it. Let's just hit those bombs, take care of those flyers, not die early, and we'll be good. That's probably the entire strategy of the deck, is just not to die early. So we're on the draw. Our hand's not that great, but pretty decent. We have 2-drop, 3-drop. Our 3-drop has reach, which is nice. We have a combat trick. Yeah, this hand's a keeper. If we mold a 6, it'll probably... Like, I would keep a hand that was straight up just like these 3 lands and these 3 as a 6. So I'm happy to keep this as a 7. Drop a forest. Stormkin. So now it's on the play. Like, I think he could tempo us real well. This Frostlings can help us a lot, like buy us some time. I don't think we're going for tempo attacks, really. We're just going to try and make it to the late game. He didn't play anything, so maybe as a Brian Warren Cutthroat. Yep. Shock. All right. I don't know if I really even say that with Feral Invocation. So we're going to drop Netcaster Spider. It blocks his flyer really well. No blocks here. Ember Hauler. Wowza. This is, I didn't even know this was in the set. Card's great. Brightwood Tracker holds the ground well. It won't be able to block the Cutthroat well at all, but I'd rather just be... I think it's just the best case right now is just to be mana efficient. Like, I don't think we could block the Cutthroat if he offers it to attack. I'm not going to try and double block it because the Spider is just too important. We need to draw 1 more lands, and then all of a sudden we have a Tempest going. Which is dope. Oh, Air Elemental. Alright. So, Island. We're at 5 mana. We could Frostlinks the Air Elemental. Or we could Octo Profit, which will almost guarantee find us, like, our land for the next turn. And that would just make us kind of have to just take 4 in the air. Like, we just don't care with Air Elemental to get there. I think we can afford that. Ooh, Plummet and Evolving Wilds. I think we'll bottom the Evolving Wilds because we are bound to just draw lands anyway. And if we don't draw lands, we have Plummet plus like Frostlinks or Feral Invocation. So I think we're okay bottoming the Wilds. And Prophet, even if he buffs his Cutthroat by 1, Prophet can... Oh, it's actually only during your opponent's turn. It's not instant spells. I'm silly. Sack to deal 1. Is that what it does? Don't have any target. Okay, so he took care of that. Can't stop his flyer anymore. There is trouble. So we can Plummet the Air Elemental and Frostlinks the Stormkin. And we could even send someone in. But yeah, let's just do this when he's tapped out. I don't want to get blown out by a counter or anything. And yeah, Frostlinks will buy us a good amount of time. Hopefully we can hit our Tempest. And we have a blocker to hold back. So I think I'm okay with like sending in Octoprofit here. He's tapped out, and it'll just be a 3-2. Yeah, I'm down. If he wants to trade, okay. We have 2 blockers to hold back, actually. So we're still playing it very safe. In case he wants to like tempo remove something. Okay, so that's not a flyer, which is unfortunate. We could send all 3 of our boys in because we'll have 2 blockers. But if he makes it into a 4-3, he could just. Oh, but then we can pump it, and eat it. So I guess we do just go for it, because if he has like a shock or an unsummon, it'll be a 4-3. But then we can respond and play a combat trick to eat it, and it'll be gone. And then we just face 2 damage back. Yeah, I think that's the right play. We have to, if we get our clock on enough, all of a sudden he might have to hold his Stormkin back. All right, good old befuddle. So this, if we pump, we could pump it to save it, but not to eat the Cutthroat, and we really need to block that Cutthroat. So we're just gonna have to lose it here. And that is a good befuddle. And then we'll just play Pup, and Pup can jump block the Cutthroat. And if if he plays a creature and sacks it to kill the Pup, we still have this guy. Oh boy. So Smuggler is problematic. And we will definitely trade with the Smuggler. We'll chump the Cutthroat, and then take 2. I'm actually kind of happy he offered that Smuggler, because like, yes, it did add another attacker to the mix, but like that Smuggler was threatening so much. All right, so we got our Attempts out, and we have a double block on the ground. As long as, yeah, if our opponent can't remove Attempts, we'll be a little bit stabilized. If he does manage to pull off enough creatures, it would take a while to do this, but he could kill us with Mask. But it's really hard to get there. All right, Garagos. So now we just hold up Attempts. We hold up Brightwood Tracker, and just hope that it stabilizes, really. Because Attempts lets us tap to. He's never going to win us the game, but he's going to let us draw 2, discard 1. Which is better, I think, than Brightwood Tracker. Because we're looking for lands too for Garagos. Unless we're offered, of course, just a better card than the land. But if we just tried 2 lands, so you're gonna pitch this island here. My turn. Dope. Okay, so now we're gonna go Frostlinks down his Stormkin. See if that, buys us even more time. And I don't think we're gonna hit. We can hit the red zone. Did he have any flyers that had haste? Aside from him. So I think we can just hit the red zone. We'll put him at 9. And then it'll be tapped again. And we can put him at 5. Maybe threaten. We could maybe get lethal. Yeah, I'm down. We have blockers for Brineborn. It is nice to draw cards and stuff, but for now. Decline and turn. We're never going to win the game with this, but it is such a powerful card. Just a big fat flyer. Hell, like Air Elemental is one of the better picks in every core set it's in, and it's just a 5-mana 4/4 flyer. This is a 6-mana 4/5 flyer with the draw ability on it. All right, so if we sent our whole team in, attempts as he can't block, it would put him out to 5. He blocks one of our 2/2s. We could hit him for 6 if he has no way to interact with our board. That being said, that's a little unrealistic. So I think the play here is we just rock a Sedge Scorpion. Or no. Or we rock the island and pitch the Sedge Scorpion. No, we'll rock the Sedge Scorpion. It'll help us widen our board a little bit. And as we widen our board, we can maybe guarantee lethal a little bit better. Because as it stands, we can't quite kill him. And yeah, our opponent had some great tempo cards. So I just have to be real careful. We'll save this island to pitch to Attempsis at the end of turn. Assuming it, sticks around. Okay, Keldon Raider, that card's good for him. Developing the board a bit more. We're hoping to see a tap out, though. If we see a tap out, we can maybe do some gross things. All right, end of turn, we'll activate Attempsis. Draw 2. Pitch an island. Now we have triple green for Gargos. So yeah, we can rock Gargos. He'll be huge, and at the moment, still, if we attack with everyone, our opponent can even block Attempsis, but we'd still be facing. Yeah, we wouldn't be close. So Gargos will help us, especially with the Feral Invocation. He'll be a good card to hit the battlefield and let us not only make it so now if he targets like attempts this to take it out with like an unsummon or something, we can take out like his Stormkin, and just makes the board even more difficult for him. All right, ping in my face. So he can maybe burn me out if he has the right cards. If I do die from that, I will cry. But if he has a shock, I lose. Oh no. Oh no. Damn it. No! That was upsetting. Okay, well, it happens. Don't think we change anything. I think we just have to rock it back, because we can't really change anything. That's the problem. We did see an equipment, and Natural End does deal with that, but that is the only target we've seen for it. And yeah, I don't know. There's nothing. The equipment isn't too effective against us. Like, yes, it did kill us, but did that kill us, or was it more so the early pressure of a 2/2 flyer with haste beating in, as well as some other stuff, Brineborn Cutthroat and all that. So this is not a great keeper by any means. We're on the play too, so I think we're gonna mulligan it. We're just a little short on lands, and this hand's much better. Keeping a 6. I think we ditch one of our. It's unfortunate to say, but maybe we just ditch one of our bombs. But then again, this Sentinel might not do anything. How greedy are we? Very greedy. Let's go. that last game though. Whew. Evolving Wilds. So that Evolving Wilds could find our triple blue, but it also could help us find our triple green later, and we already have 2 blue sources. A little tricky. I don't think we have double green in our deck. Right? No. So we just have triple green. Alright. Let's make sure we have our triple blue. Especially because our blue will help us find. Do we play the Frostlinks with no board? I'm inclined to say no and just play like Wingwords as a divination. Because Frostlinks, like, getting ahead of a flyer is not, I don't think against his deck is as effective as, and he might flash out like a Brine board Cutthroat, but I think we want to go Winged Words here. I'm a Psychic. And the next turn we can go Sedge Scorpion plus Frostlinks and tap down something. Like I do see a lot of times that like you would want to play it, but I think given our knowledge of this matchup, having Frostlinks on board. And we hit our Garagos, Dank. So we back again with the Holy Trinity of bombs. I like how I call that, but I'm like this Jewish dude. Drop a Sedge Scorpion. He can block anything really well. And we'll have Frostlinks tap down the Scuttlemutt, because that the creatures are basically equal in size, and Scuttlemutt actually might give him more options on his turn, and we want to slow him down just a little bit more. And then we go Cavalier into a Tempest or Garagos, which is just, oh my god. Let's send in the Frostlinks. And the Sedge Scorpion, he's not going to be able to kill a 5/5, and the counters is Essence Scatter in this set. I don't think so. I don't think Essence Scatter is in this one. Another Brineborn. Aight. If there's a shock, I might cry. Yup. Okay, that's a very hard, like, I would still go, I would go for it. Knowing that's in his deck, I went for it, right? Like, that's a hard thing to do. We'll drop this Cavalier here. We'll probably actually end up keeping the Forest. Okay, so ordering will be done in the next step. So putting 2 cards back. Probably just put back both our Invocations. And so our Cavalier will be dank. Like, yeah, he might die right here, but he's gonna do a lot of work in just stopping a big freaking Cutthroat. Opponent's deck has so much. Oh no. Okay, he sideboarded well. Oh god. So he doesn't have any flyers on board. And because of that, I think playing Garagos, like, yeah, you can have the 2/2 flyer with haste, but I think our best out is to play Garagos, live this round, and be able to untap and, like, double Feral Invocation, and also protects our Cavalier from, like, an unsummon or another Act of Treason or something. But yeah, if he flashed a good game, I probably lost, but that was the best play we can do. He could hit for 3. He might have a shock or the equipment. We're just gonna go block like this, the best way we can block. Uno. It would be nice to have that Invocation, but yeah. Frostlink's Befuddle. Assuming we don't die this turn. Going Feral Invocation. They're honestly both good. But yeah, we'll grab the Frostlings because it actually develops our board. Ember Hauler. Well, our deck was sweet, but our opponent's deck was ridiculous. Like the perfect synergy, red-blue flyers and flash. Oh, I need to reset my quests. Oops. Let's do that real quick. It's a new day. 30 black or red. Reroll this 500, another 500. Oh, we can get gems today. No, don't get distracted. Let's get back into this. If we blow it with this deck, it'll teach us a valuable lesson. A lesson I already knew, but like it maybe it's easy to still make that mistake. But I knew it while drafting it, like how difficult this could sometimes be. And I think it comes back to our drafting process. That you can have all the bombs in the world, but you have to have a well filled out deck, and sometimes that means having good curve, not having to main deck cards. Like if this Plummet's dead, this hand is abysmal. Yeah, I will. So we're gonna keep this hand, and we can't. I don't think we can, because Plummet's in the opening as well. And if this Plummet's dead, this hand sucks. So I think we're gonna mulligan it. It already wasn't a great hand. This hand also sucks, and it's not. Yeah, we have to mulligan, and this hand's decent. So we're gonna throw back Invocation. We're gonna throw back Forest, because we want double blue for our triple blue later, and hope that we just don't die immediately. But we kind of got bit by not only main decking Plummet, but just getting bad hands. So yeah, well, once again, I think we hold on to the Frostlings. Tap down a flyer next turn. We don't have any really place to follow it. Oh, we'll tap down this thing. Just slow down our opponent until we hit our Cavalier and Garagos mana, and then we can catch up. But our opponent seems to be playing some pretty abysmal cards so far, so we can get there. Rabid Bite. There's no good way to do that right now, and maybe we could save it for Garagos and do some really gross stuff if we live that long, and we're not under any immense pressure right now. This milling thing won't matter unless he like really starts stacking them, and that's the focus of his deck, and maybe that is it, and that's why he's playing these abysmal like defensive creatures. But until then, right now we just have the Angel pressuring us, and that's it. So we can Rabid Bite the Angel away, or given that we're so behind on cards, maybe we should be a little greedy with this Garagos. We're at a pretty fine board state right now. Given our opponent's playing a 1/6 and a 3/3, and our plan is to attack with like just massive creatures, and a lot of them are in the air, I think we're fine. Now we just gotta hope that this resolves. Please. Thank. Okay. So Garagos is ginormous. He'll chomp through anything. Rabid Bite will have him fight 2 creatures. But we do have to watch out for like being blown up by Unsummon. So I think I'll maybe hold off until he's like tapped out or something. But we are milling. And until we hit, like, I don't really care until a lot later. Master Splicer. Gross. Okay. So we hit our island. Now if we Garagos, we could just like choose not to attack this turn and go Garagos and Rabid Bite him, kill the token, kill Sage's Row Denizen. Or we could just attack this turn, and he could come up with 7 points of toughness. Oh, he can kill it. So let's just develop the Cavalier this turn. Get a good brainstorm going. Ooh, alright, so we'll send back the Scorpion. And the chances are we actually might even have this like milled away. Let's send back the Mammoth Spider. Or this way, so we draw the Spider first. And maybe, yeah, we just go for it now. Opponent's tapped out. So target a creature you control. Don't control. Have him fight here. Have him fight here. We have a Plummet for the big guy. He currently can stack a lot of, like, he can double block. He can block with like Piranha plus Crab plus Splicer, and all of a sudden like Gyarados just dies. Whereas later we can maybe protect him. So let's just leave it how it is. Stone Golem. Okay. So our opponent does have one artifact so far in the main board. But we have a flyer. We have a nice, big, juicy flyer. And don't think we send in Gyarados just because that whole, stacking a ton of blockers thing. We have our opponent on a turn 4-turn clock, which is fantastic. And developing the Mammoth Spider. Just, like, the whole thing is just wow. Do we go for then a turn Plummet? Yeah, might as well. It's free. There are very few flyers that, like, if we knew our opponent had some ginormous gross flyer in his deck, like, of course we would want to save the Plummet there, but might as well knock it out of the way. Is there a Wrath of God in the set? I think it's like Planar Cleansing. On the off chance there's a Planar Cleansing. I don't think this 1/1 will do anything, so I might as well just save it. Befuddle, dank. So Befuddle actually can do a lot for us. Like enough to send in Gyarados. So he's just sending in the whole squad. All the boys. Alright, I guess we'll go with the biggest boys in the back, like the ones that we care about least. So he did stack all of his blockers on it. So what we will do is befuddle our own creature, I think, because we can't save it. Have him fight the Stone Golem, and then have him like crunch through the other things. Yes, befuddle the pup. Have him fight the Stone Golem. And this way in combat he'll still have 8 damage to deal between all these dudes, and yeah, just take out his Stonewall right now. And yeah, Gyarados is gone. RIP. But now our opponent is like, they just have a crab to defend them. What did we see this game? Just a lot of defenders. Might be playing a mill deck. Good to know for sideboarding, but once again, we don't have everything he cares about. So yeah, we just saw one artifact, so not worth bringing in that. Befuddle over Feral Invocation, maybe. But I think I'll just run it right back. Sorry about this. This is abysmal. Alright, so we're going to drop an Evolving Wilds and pass. And now we're going to go fetch a forest. Hit our turn 2 Metropolis Sprite. And then turn 3, we could go with your Frostlinks. If he has something, he does. Not necessarily afraid of it at all, but... Or we could go Sedge Scorpion plus Rabid Bite and just kill it off. But once again, that whole Gyarados Rabid Bite thing is pretty gross. So... I think I'm down to just, like... Tapping it down doesn't quite get us anywhere, but it and we're not under the threat of any damage whatsoever. So let's just... I think we should just pump the Sprite. And just develop the Scorpion here, which can... So he's not going to attack the Denizen probably anyway, because I think he is just a mill deck. Yeah. He did probably draft it correctly, which is good for him. Winged Words and Forest. So the problem with mill, if it doesn't kill your opponent, is it does nothing. Like, yes, it has a chance of milling our Bombs, our Gyarados, our Tempest, our Cavalier, but it also has the chance to mill us so that we're sooner to drawing those cards. And that's like the big difficulty behind playing a mill strategy in limited, especially, is just like, if your cards don't mill cards or defend you to continue milling cards, they're not worth running. So I think he has actually quite the clock with both of them out. I wouldn't object to just Rabid Biting Scorpion to fend off one of them and then attacking again. And yeah, he's not looking to win by damage anyway, so I'm down to just beat in for 1, even if it means he could beat in for 2 again. Like, we just saw so many, like, defensive creatures, like the Piranhas and the 1/6, and, like, all these things that I'm down to let him beat in for 2 if it means I get to hit for a lot of damage as well. So we can play Brightwood Tracker or Frostlinks. If we play Frostlinks, we tap down the Sprite. If we play Brightwood Tracker, we hold off the Denizen. Tracker is like just the more efficient play. But let's send him both our dudes first. And if he wants to trade sprites, we trade sprites. If he lets them all through, yeah, let's go for that Brightwood Tracker here. Setting healthy out of 23 cards. Octoprofit. And actually in M20 limited, milling your opponent can sometimes be bad in some matchups because the black deck like super cares about the graveyard. They have a lot of things that really can do a lot of stuff. So I'd be cautious. If you do draft the deck, you want to pick up as many Sages or Denizens as humanly possible. And then yeah, just like creatures that are good at blocking, Octoprofits, Piranhas, because you don't care about attacking at all if your plan is to mill. But it's kind of the deck you just have to force yourself into. You're not gonna naturally end up there. So, yeah, particular situation here. Let's Frostlinks and just develop a creature on the board, tap down the Octoprofit, pump the Sprite, and yeah, just get in there for 3. Ooh, 5th land. That's pretty lit. So we go Forest. I think we're gonna Frostlinks that Octoprofit again, just because it's a a sizable creature, good blocker, and we'll set in these 3 boys. No, these 2 boys. Yeah, because he has the Denizen to block. If he offers the Sprite, we'll go for the trade. And then we'll just keep his 3/3 tap down. This is not one of those fun games with their massive bombs, but we're doing well. Master Splicer. Okay, so that's a 4/4. Nice sizable blocker. And now we may be stuck. And if we send in the Sedge Scorpion, I would just go for the Master Splicer block. So we'll just go with the most efficient play here and drop the Mammoth Spider. There aren't any damage-based removal spells, I'm pretty sure, in white, and definitely not in blue, that holding up Feral Invocation is really worth it, and our attacks just weren't good, so we'll just hold off on that. But the longer we stall, the more beneficial it is for him, assuming, yeah, he's definitely on that mill plan. We're going to drop a Forest, and we're going to try and resolve this Gyarados here. If he has Bones Ash or something, that would be bad. But he doesn't. So now we have the Feral Invocation for Gyarados, and that's going to take over the game. He's got the big crab. And we can just go swing with Gyarados, swing with Mammoth Spider. Or no, we could just go Feral Invocation now. I don't think he has a Bone to Ash, otherwise he would have played it. We could go Feral Invocation on his upkeep in case he has the counter. Is there a 3-mana counter? Or is it Bone to Ash only? You know, I haven't really seen a 3-mana counter in this format yet. So I'm down to just go for it. And we'll just take out his big boy here. And with 5 toughness, he's a little vulnerable to what he's got in terms of blockers. But he would have to like do quite the blocking job. But if we wait one turn, he has to work a little bit harder to get there. And I think we can get away with not dropping this Greenwood Sentinel. If he has a planar cleansing, I will cry. And yeah, once again, Befuddle saves the day. As we can befuddle one of our own creatures. I think I'm down to just go for it. Right? Yeah, let's just go all in. So, if we befuddle our own Mammoth Spider, we can have Gyarados fight Octoprophet. I'm down. Mammoth Spider wouldn't kill this thing anyway. Or is it better to get rid of Denizen? We have 13 cards in our deck, actually. Yeah, let's get rid of the Denizen. Okay. And we'll drop this boy because he has flying. Still have Cavalier in our deck, which does draw us a card, which can be a little dangerous. Oh, he did have the Bone Tash. You know, in this spot, we will go YOLO with the Greenwood Sentinel. If he has the planar cleansing, Cavalier is a sizable threat that finishes him off, as long as we have enough time to attack. Take the win here. Being back with my parents, I thought this would be chill. I just continue what I'm doing, but it's not easy. Can't wait to just be back in my own place, but for now, this is how it is. And yeah, so we're on the draw. We have Metropolis Sprite, and we We have Winged Words, which would cost 1 less with Metropolis Sprite. And our hand's pretty decent. So I think we keep the 7, given the draw. We have 2 lands, and Winged Words can keep us out of this. As long as like our Metropolis Sprite lives, I think we can. This hand's pretty darn good. And so, opponent is Taste Test. Let's name them. I realize that my window is blocking their names. If I move it slightly down, oops, wrong thing to move down. That's slightly better, probably. Probably should have done that a long time ago. And I realized when I had that game against Show in my last draft, it's like you saw the name at the beginning, but you couldn't see it the whole way through, and it's just like, that's a little strange. So maybe we should scoot this a little down. But I didn't think about that until way too late in the recording, and I thought it was like, oh, whatever, I don't know. Sprite's coming in. We can't block it because he could pump it and just kill off our Sprite. And as we said before, we need our Sprite. So Griffin Sentinels. Our opponent's on blue-white flyers. We do draw a land, so we can go Frostlinks right now. But I don't really know if I care about his flyers, like, stick around. I think I'm just cool with activating, like, playing this Winged Words right now. Like, developing the Frostlinks doesn't do enough, and I'd rather just make sure we have, you know, a good game plan going. We have the mana to pump Metropolis Sprite, which is nice. So if he wants to trade, and if he offers the trade, I'll take it. Can't stand this dog. Alright, so yeah, he offered the trade, we're gonna take it. Pass to blockers, block Sprite for Sprite. And if we each pump our Sprite, assuming he has nothing else, they both die. Or slash if one of us pumps a Sprite. Okay, he has the combat trick, so he's traded a combat trick for the Sprite. No problem. There are grosser things that can happen out of this combat trick, so that's alright. Now if we drop Octoprofit, we can maybe find that 3rd island for Cavalier. It's an efficient play. It's a good attacker through his board. Anticipate. Islands plummet. That's perfect, honestly, right? Island next turn, plummet, plus like Frostlinks or something. Yes, please. We're going to eat 2 to 3 here. All right, just 2. Opponent's got nothing. So maybe he has a Bone to Ash. So should we play any differently, knowing that he might have a Bone to Ash? Because 4 mana and doing nothing is sketch as hell. We could play like Cerulean Drake and Frostlinks or something. Actually, you know what we'll do? We'll start off swinging with Octoprofit. Okay, raise the alarm. So if he goes for the triple block here, we can go for like Befuddle on his 1/3. Nope. Okay. But yeah, that's a good reason to attack first sometimes and test the waters. That was weird of him to play. Raise the alarm. And then we'll drop the Cavalier here. Draw that hot, nasty plummet. And put back... Given that we have a chance of actually shuffling our library with him dying, it might be nice to just put back the lands. If we were to draw our lands, let's draw our third forest over our fourth island. Cavalier of Dawn. Okay, I guess we both have bombs. Destroy one island permanent. I get a 3/3. When it dies, return target artifact. Okay, so Atemsis. Hot damn. So we can't play it next turn. So I think that's incentive. We just drop an island. Yeah, we can't play next turn anyway. So having the island will let us play 6 mana worth of cards next turn. When it dies, return artifact or enchantment. Okay. Alright, so now we can go Frostlinks. Tap down his 4/6. Send in the boys, I think. Yeah. And we go Pup is just like the most, it's 2 power on the board and 2 bodies, but the bodies don't quite matter that much. We don't have Overrun in our deck. Yeah, I think we play Pup. And we'll later pitch Cerulean Drake for we'll pitch it for Atemsis maybe if he sticks around. Aerial Assault. Well, if you saw that card, if you held on to that card for a bit on something that maybe mattered a bit more. Okay. Excuse me? Like, you were doing fine. You didn't see what I had in my hand. Okay. We'll take, maybe just frustrated, like, oh, I'll draw the Cavalier. But we did not play the Atemsis. He didn't see that. So I don't know what happened there. Alright, we're 2-1. Let's get our 3rd win. Play some of our biggest boys out there. And continue up the grind of Magic 2020 Limited. Playing against Mig Zvaputin. Wowza. Be on the play. So if we keep this, we have 3-drop, 4-drop, and possibly a dead card. Between white and blue, there are a good amount of flyers. Black has like some, red has some, and some that can get flying, and green has none. So it's like a 50-50 chance as to whether it's a dead card. But we got 3-drop, 4-drop. And Octoprophet does set us up for better draws down the road. So, and we're on the play. So I'll keep it. You know, if we had the Piranhas, we probably would have played them. Okay, this is an aggressive card. Attack, steals when damage to player planeswalker. So he's playing. The only reason why you really play this is either if your deck is like god tier aggressive, which is possible in blue-red, or if you just drafted like an elemental deck and you get like the bonus of it being an elemental. Because on its own, you know, 1-mana 1/1s are abysmal. So like, yeah, it'll deal damage to players, but literally a 2/2 just stonewalls this dude. We're going to drop a Netcaster Spider here. And yeah, Sword Spitter is just going to sit there as long as Spider sits on the board. And for our turn 4 play, we can attack with Netcaster Spider just because he's not going to block it anyway. And then play Octoprophet, which is a great blocker. And this Plummet is going to come in handy most likely against a blue deck. Maybe even like just, you know, Chandra's, not Phoenix, some Chandra fire flying bird thing. Because Chandra's Phoenix is a different card. Octoprophet. And we'll bomb the land. We don't need that. But we'll take that hot, nasty Mammoth Spider, who We'll just clog this board. But Brawler, that's bad news. Brawler is a bigger boy when he attacks. So we'll drop this island here. And we don't have any good attacks. So we'll just drop the Mammoth Spider. And if he sends in the Brawler, like, this turn is not that great. But in the future, as he builds a board, like, yeah, these Brawlers get so much better. And we can range, like, double blocks and stuff, but it's not going to do enough. So we're just going to pump out 2 more things, 4-drop, 2-drop. We're curving out fairly well. We missed our 2-drop, but then, like, we're still doing hot. This tracker, if we don't draw anything, he's going to help us find one of our bombs, which is nice. But yeah, we're under a lot of pressure now with 3 Brawlers coming at us. Ooh. Gyarados? Yes, please, because the Brawlers, they're great attackers. They are not good blockers. So if we have to have him on the defensive, 4-mana 2/4s are like that. That's all they do on defense. Like, abysmal. Got Winged Words. Solid. So it's either Winged Words or we activate the Brightwood tracker. We don't have a play like Winged Words plus like a plummet target. So that might be incentive to like hold on to Winged Words, because in the long run, resource wise, like, yeah, if we send in Gyarados, he can like triple block and take out a bunch of things. So I'm actually inclined to maybe just like do nothing and like just enjoy the stall, honestly, because as time goes on, we get to Brightwood tracker more, and really just build up card advantage. Thicket Crasher, hot damn. I'm gonna activate this tracker here. Find Cavalier of Gales, holy smokes. Now if we play Cavalier, we can brainstorm. Maybe we can find something to target Gyarados. Put 2 cards back. So we can put back... We're going to draw them anyway, right? Because I think we're going to go Island plus Winged Words. Because Cavalier isn't probably dying. Yeah, it doesn't... If it does matter, if we for some reason decide not to, but... Like, yeah, we're doing it. Drawn 2. And... Yeah, if he wants to block with, if we take out 2 Lavakin Brawlers with him, I don't know. If he does draw a Falter, we would just, like, lose. A Falter, like, an effect that says, like there's that card thing that's, like, destroy target land. Creatures your opponents control can't block this turn, which people often discount that card, but, like, as a sideboard card, at least, there are games like this that if he just played it, and some people play weird cards main deck, he would just win. Like, we wouldn't be able to block. We would think we would be clogging the board state and we wouldn't be attacking him, and all of a sudden we can't block. Alright, the Brawlers, they're coming in. 8/4s. So I think if we just like if we just trade it and stuff, which we can, yeah, if we block with Cavalier to trade one way, so we're double blocking any? Yeah, I mean we have to block anyway, so we might as well double block. Like, we're gonna have to chump, so we'll go block here, double block here, and we take a good amount of damage. Yeah, I don't want to get too greedy with everything. Yeah, we take 2, 8, 6. We take a good amount of damage, but like we're okay, I think. Assuming no If he has a common trick, we Garagos. But all right, shuffle it in and scry 2. Feral Invocation's hot. Cerulean Drake is actually good as well as a blocker. So I'm down. Now if we go Feral Invocation, we can fight the Thicket Crasher. Hey, we should hold off a little bit. It's whenever you target. Oh, it is just yeah. Okay, so maybe we play it on his upkeep though. But yeah, we could send in Garagos for free. Opponent gets chomped. And we can either play 2/2 drops or a Feral Invocation. He might have Convolute, which would suck. It's a bad card to be playing, but some people play it because they're not great. Yeah, let's just do it on our turn. Target a creature. Have him fight Thicket Crasher, which is not only a beefy boy, but gives us dude's trample, which is good at this board state. And yeah, then we'll just drop 2/2 drops. Widen our board a bit. And yeah, as long as we don't get burned out, I think we have this game in our clutches. Cavalier of Thorns, that is a draw. Fields top 5 cards, put a land onto the battlefield, the rest into your graveyard. When he dies, exile if you do return target card from your graveyard to. Okay. You may exile, so Pulse wouldn't be able to get it back. But yeah, you can get like Pulse plus something, and so he has some longevity to his game. That's for sure. Cavalier of Thorns he's great, of course. And all the Cavaliers are good. But the problem is, like, from a constructed point of view, not from limited, not from drafted and sealed, some of the aspects of them just aren't too great. Like, Cavalier, when he hits the battlefield, he doesn't have much of an impact. When he hits the battlefield and dies, then things get a little bit better. But even then, it becomes a little iffy. You really want, for him, you'd want a deck like the Scapeshift deck or something where you really want to hit a lot of lands, because at this point you're playing him, you already have 5 mana. Some decks don't have any use outside of mana after 5. I think we might just like want to stare at him. And just go Cerulean Drake, which could counter a spell that targets us, which is dope. He has reach, right? Yeah, good to know. I think we hold off on attacking with Garagos, knowing that he'll set up a trade with like Cavalier and some other stuff. And if we really find a good opportunity, if we like really want to, we can plummet our own sprite and have Garagos fight Cavalier of Thorns, like at the end of his turn or something. Chandra's Embercat. Alright. Pulse can gain him 6 life and get back target creature or land. So, who is it? He has his own Garagos. Hot damn. Yeah, so we're gonna have to go for quite the play here. Yeah. All right, so if we plummet our own sprite, we can have Garagos fight his Garagos. Later, though, we can Cavalier for Pulse for Garagos. So we might have to do this all in one fell swoop. We'd untap, attack with everything, maybe. No, can if we attacked with everything. Cavalier would block Garagos. Octoprophet would get blocked by Brawler or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 creatures, and he would have 5 blockers, so like 2 would get through. Oh, and we'd even lose a creature out of the whole thing. So I think we're gonna hold up this like zesty plummet play until now, maybe. Because now if we go plummet, get rid of Garagos, Frostlinks, tap down Cavalier, he'd have 4 blockers. We would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. 3 would get through, but that would only punch for 5. But then his Cavalier would be frozen down. Okay, I think I'm a fan of freezing down the Cavalier, that's for sure. And yeah, it's only target of spells, not abilities. So it already is great, but that would be bananas. Then we're going to swing for 1, send these guys in, send yeah, let's send these guys in. He has no reachers that are untapped, right? I don't want to get screwed with. Get a good old reach around. And punch for 3 in the face. And I think end of turn we'll go for the plummet play. The nice zesty plummet play. Like, yes, he could also draw a fight spell to respond and do some stuff. But, yeah. Alright. Boreal Elemental. And if we target his Boreal Elemental with a plummet, he gets to fight his Garagos at something. Which might be worse than us just having to plummet our own creature. And we have something that like holds off the Boreal Elemental, but on an offensive take, yeah, we're not quite set up, but I do want to make sure to get rid of things. I guess like what is the like if we plummet Boreal Elemental, the cost of doing so has his Garagos kill like a 3/5, but we get to kill a 3/4 as opposed to killing our own sprite, which I think is actually fine. Because his Garagos can't kill ours. So this costs 2 more to cast. So we can't do it this turn, but on our turn. Does Octoprophet change anything? We do lose the ability to fight off his Garagos, which is unfortunate, but the whole thing is sketchy, honestly. But we have 3 in the air that we could hit him with now, and then the next turn he'll have 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'd have 8. He'd kill one of them. 8 attackers. 2 would get through. That's still not enough. Or 9 attackers. 3 would get through. 3 of them would equal to 5 damage. I think the whole thing is so sus. Man. I don't know. Let's just play Octoprofit. Maybe we can get our Attempts win. Or maybe we can get him to waste Cavalier on like a Risen Reef or something. Which seems like it's not wasteful. I mean, that card is fantastic. But knowing that we can actually take out his. And yeah, we're going to bottom both lands. Try and rip a better card here. And we'll hold up the ability to plummet our own dude. Because we don't have the mana to plummet Boreal Elemental. But yeah, this board state is giving me an absolute freaking headache. And I'm stressed. I think we wouldn't target the Boreal Elemental because he would still have Garagos, even though yes, he could pulse to get it back. By that same logic, he can pulse and get back Boreal Elemental and actually play it even easier. No tricks up his sleeve, dropping his land out there. And he wouldn't have the mana to go to pulse and replay Garagos in the same turn. Actually, no, he would, because this gives him 2 green. So he'd have 4 green, and that's enough to play triple green plus pulse. But either way, it had happened on our turn, and gross. So yeah, we're just going to hold on to this plummet here for flexibility. If Overcome was in our deck, this would be a spot where Overcome would just push us across. If it's in his deck, a spot where we just probably just lose to that. Ooh, Feral Invocation. So now we have 2 fight spells. Hot damn. So yeah, if it targets anything too, so we can target something else. Like we could target our Sprite, make it a 3/4 that could become a 4/3. Feral Invocation, that it's whenever a creature you control becomes target of a spell. So yeah, and then we could just always chump block the Cavalier and attack him in the skies. So target creature you don't control. Goodbye, dog. See you later, my man. Enjoy the show. And now we can plummet the Boreal Elemental and get in for 4 in the sky. I like very much. And we just attempt to finish this game off. As next turn we will have lethal damage on board. Our opponent on their end of things, I don't think there's anything we really... Oh no! I forgot about Reach. The old Reach round. Oh no, Healer of Glades. That card does nothing, but it gains him life. And for that we are saddened. There goes our ability to fight off a second Galagos. But now if this Cavalier dies and we have like a Tempest in hand or something, that gives us the ability to just fly over once this is gone. So do we? I think we just hold on to the island to bluff stuff, and also, I'm so upset. Stupid reach. Like, there's no. I guess there is an icon for reach in the little bow and arrow thing, but it's not obvious. And even like I knew before. Someone's probably just screaming at the screen right now. I used to drink a little bit and watch Saffron Olive and yell at the screen. And one time I sent him like a very just like weird tweet. Where I was just like, dude, like you can't. I think it was like you shouldn't play in Evolving Wilds after you played a Scryland if you have no reason to, like, drop the Evolving Wilds first, get the Scry. It was something like that, but I was like out of my mind at that point. What a gnarly story. So I guess we hold on to both because you have Brainstorm. Like, there's no reason to play them necessarily. But oh my god. So upset. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creatures. He has 7 blockers. And it's not like we force him to make that many unfavorable blocks. Like, he can choke out our board and then, like, smack his back for a game. So, like, yes, we'd have Pup to save us. The mighty Pup. But yeah, if he makes an attack, we might just have to, like, chump the Cavalier. Maybe that's our opportunity to hit back. This Pulsa Marasa. Pulsa Marasa is a card that, like, was originally pretty decent and limited. And then it became huge in Pauper in the Tron deck. And people realize, like, it's great because in normal formats, like, you maybe play a card like that. And the fact that it gains you 6 life, like, kind of offsets the fact that, you know, you're paying 3 mana not affecting the board immediately. And that helps, like, compensate for that lost time and tempo and all that. Alright, Attempsis. Save us. Oh! So now, Cavalier of Thorns. We are 2 cards ahead of our opponent. So hypothetically, if the game stalled out so much, we can get to the point of decking our opponent. That is highly unlikely, especially because we're probably going to want to activate a Tempsys, but maybe it's a consideration not to. Drops a Brontodon, which can't interact that well, but it's mindful to know with Invocation that he can take it out. But we're probably not attacking with this Gyarados at all. He's a nice blocker and a nice way to make it so he can't interact with our guys too well. So, all right. If cards with 6 different mana costs, so we would have to draw 12 cards to hit that point. So we're, unless I knew, like, intimately the cards in my deck, and a lot of them are lands, having different costs, it's kind of risky to go for, like, straight up, like, the Attempsys win. Yeah, we'll save 2 cards in our hand for the brainstorming and whatnot. But at some point we could attack with, like, if we attack with Attempsys and Cerulean Drake and the Cavalier, that's hitting our opponent. We'd get 5 in the air through, at least. Are there any cards in our deck that can, like, break the stalemate a bit? We have Befuddle, and that works well with Gyarados, who can take out the Cavalier. And he gets Pulse. Or it could, like, just shrink the Cavalier so that we attack in with our Flyers and they live. Unless he blocks Cerulean Drake, which he just wouldn't. So Befuddle might be a good draw. Good card to rip with a Tempsis. So we have to hit Befuddle, and we have to hit our Cavalier, and we have to do it before we deck. Being 3 cards ahead of our opponent. Attacks deals 1 damage to the player Planeswalker's attacking. So I'm interested in knocking out the Scorch Spitter. I'm interested in killing the Brawler. And I'm interested in chumping. Alright, so we'll block the Spitter this way. The Brawler does not have Trample. And I don't want to like lose too many dudes. If we blocked like this and then chumped here, on the clap back, he'll have 5 blockers. We'll have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. 2 would get through. Scoops. Okay, I'll take it. I was actually gonna maybe think I'd maybe search for the Befuddle at that point. Yeah. So we can maybe bring in our second Befuddle if we see it fit. That darn Cavalier. Yeah. Was there a plummet target? Yeah, there's Boreal Elemental. He had his own sprite. Get a Chandra's Spitfire, I think is what it's called. So I think we just rock it back. This Portal help us get over the edge, even though that card is clunky AF. Like, would that significantly help us in this like grind fest of a game? Maybe. Maybe this is the kind of game you bring in Portal. But I don't know. Board out Sprite and board in Portal. I guess like that game was long, but I don't know. If it goes to game 3, I'll reconsider Portal. Portal is like a bad card, specifically because of the whole sorcery, only activating it as a sorcery. But like I have played with a card that's much better than that, but the same, basically this close to the same card, not actually the same card. We're gonna keep this 7 once we hit our 4th land. It's Octoprophet time. We're on the draw. Good hand. The issue with it being sorcery is difficult, but the payoff is huge. Like payoff with like Frostlink triggers and Octoprophets and all these things that like help us in like these very meaty grinds, like take on our opponent. We could develop the Frostlinks, or we could not, and we have nothing to freeze down. The 2/2 did not block a lot of his things well. I'm down to hold on to the Frostlinks and get some tempo plays out of it. Lavakin Brawler. So if we play a 3/3, it's not going to block it well, but we do want to play a 3/3, hit our green lands, hit more lands for a Tempsis. So this would be land number 5 and land number 6, and one of them is green. I'm down. Next turn we can go like Frostlinks plus, yeah, gross. So there's not a good block there. At the moment, these guys break even. As the game goes on, they get a lot better and more problematic. And like Portal would not suffice as a way to really stop that. So yeah, if we go Frostlinks, we could tap down a Brawler, slow him down a little bit, and drop a Sedge Scorpion, which blocks a Brawler really well. So we can get in for 3 here. And yeah, so Scorpion, which works really well with Rabid Bite as well. If our opponent like has not like shock mana available. Anticipate. So he has the green Cavalier and Gyarados. We have the blue Cavalier and Gyarados, but we have a Tempest, and he has a highly synergistic elemental deck. Risen Reef is gross. So we do have to watch out for Unsummon. I do want to get rid of that Risen Reef. I do want to play a Tempest. I'm going to go with the Tempest right now. And yeah, we'll just pass turn here. On our next turn, we could consider Rabid Biting away that Risen Reef, because it does get a lot of value in his deck. And it's not something to mess around with. Leafkin, Druid. So yeah, it turns all those dudes into cantrips, and like it's real good. But that means we can't Rabid Bite like the Boreal Elemental. The whole thing is scary. So we're going to drop Evolving Wilds. That'll help us find our 3rd green for when we get our big boy. Yeah, I think we, like, as much as this is a big threat right here, I kind of want to just, like, Rabid Bite the Risen Reef away. It just generates so much value. Do we attack with Tempest? We're not really going to block with it. He does generate a lot of value, though. He wants to attack with a Tempest. And we'll Rabid Bite. Having... yeah. We'll get rid of that Risen Reef. The card is gross. And pass turn. And now we can hold up a Tempest as a blocker for Boreal Elemental. And yeah, in the long run, our game plan's good. We just need to survive. And Cavalier. Hot damn. What a card. I guess if it doesn't do like the gross, like, alright, you milled some dorks. It's still a gross card, but like, last game, the fact that he had like with his Gyarados and stuff, it was disgusting. Right, Brontodon. Yeah, we're gonna crack so I don't forget. And find a forest. He sends in his brawlers and stuff. We're going to maybe just double block them out of existence. Definitely block one with a Scorpion. If we double block the other, we're susceptible to a combat trick, which obviously sucks, but and we get 2 for 1. We don't have a good answer for it at the moment, and we are about to, generate some card advantage here, so I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit. We're gonna go with Tempest and pitch the island. Cavalier was a dank draw. If we go Cavalier first, we even might hit a 3rd land for one of our other plays, and we'll probably save the Frostlings for a turn where we can like really just get our opponent. Start off the turn, maybe we should attack with the Tempest, because if we get our 3rd land, we're gonna be playing something. We're not gonna want to activate him. Yeah, if our opponent has like a shock, he'll 2 for 1 himself. Oh fuck! No. Oh. Gross. Okay. We're gonna keep playing and put back. In case it gets shuffled, we'll put back 1, 2, 3, and we'll drop a pup. I regret all my decisions. These freaking reachers, man. I don't know how they can make it more obvious, but like when the game has so many visual cues, it's really hard to catch the little things like reach. In general, Magic has a little bit of that problem because, like, for example, in Commander, a lot of times people ask, like, oh, do you have any flyers, right? Because the board states are so big. And people will be like, no, I don't have any flyers. And you go for the attack. We'll go for a chump block here. And, like, you go for the attack. And it turns out they have a reacher. And they didn't say that. They told the truth. They did, rules-wise, they did everything they were supposed to do. And yeah, so reachers always catch people off guard, but it gets so much worse in Arena where everything has a visual cue. We're gonna save the Frost Links for that. Garagos, the whole thing is disgusting. Netcaster Spider here. If we had our flyer, we'd be able to really generate a lot of value. But because we didn't, I cry. Like, he would find us our Garagos, our removal spells. Sure, you maybe have a Garagos thing to remove it with, but, like, yeah. And now we're in this terrible situation where I think we're just going to double block a Brontodon and he could take out one thing, and then we take 13. And if he has a pump spell or anything, we just die. And if he has something he could target one of his dudes with, we would just lose that double block anyway. But yeah, we freaking lost. Fire Elemental. We know what we're drawing. Yep. I've seen enough there. So, freaking reach, man. The old reach around. Part of me just wants to have the second befuddle. I don't know. I feel like we might be just too greedy if we were like double befuddle. This Cerulean Drake, we haven't seen it at an appropriate time, but it's good in our deck. We just keep seeing it on like turn 70 where anything is bad. You know what? Yeah, let's go for a second befuddle. Maybe we can get him good on that. And Portal. How good would Portal be that game? We still have plenty of gas to do stuff. Portal does give us the long run of locking down his Reacher. Befuddle gives us the opportunity. It's the 6 toughness Reacher, though. So Befuddle would give us another way for Galagos to deal with it. Portal would give us the opportunity to just straight up lock it down. But I think we have plenty of plays is the problem. Like, we have plenty of card draw spells and stuff and abilities that play Portal means we're also going to be just sitting with like 4 spells in our hand, just to like constantly replay a Frost Links. Alright, so we're going to play first. We'll keep the 7. It's not great, but it has a turn 2 play. A Rapid Bite for any opening problematic things. And as we hit the late game, we'll hopefully be able to do some stuff. Healer of the Glade doesn't do anything, but it's an elemental, so the deck plays it. And our opponent's just gonna take 2. So it's like you spent a card, you got a 1/2, you gain 3 life. But that 1/2 is not gonna be able to block this 2/2. So like you're gonna get punished for that. And I don't regret killing the Risen Reef last game. That Risen Reef like already generated 1 card, and the longer it stuck around, the bigger threat it was. I actually haven't even drafted Risen Reef yet, but it's sweet. Like it starts off like, okay, 3 mana 1/1, but 3 mana 1/1 draw a card. Like we've played 3 mana 1/1 flyers that draw a card in limited that like helps staple your deck together. And once it draws 2 cards, it's like, wow. And then from there, it snowballs out of control. Are these both my kitties? Or are these... I don't want to pet your gross-ass kitty. We could cycle the Befuddle if we wanted to, but I think we'll only do that if we're not hitting our land drops. But we are. Not for Tempest, but for other things. And yeah, because your 1/2 sucks and does nothing, I get to punch you again. Most likely, unless you have some flashy thing. And like, yeah, if you want to pump your healer, I'll trade Sentinel for a pump spell. If it's the enchantment though, then it'll be a little more upsetting because it sticks around, but hey. It's okay. Oh, stupid Reacher. When I see that, man, I will counter him. If I had a Bone to Ash in my sideboard, this would be a matchup that you want the Bone to Ash, because even though yes, like sometimes you would just hold up 4 mana and like not much would happen, you do sometimes like. It's good to play counters in draft games, because like cards like Atemsis and Garagos and all the Cavaliers and the big red dragon guy, like there's so many huge bombs in this format that you're not gonna have a lot of answers or good answers to, and your best way to conquer it is literally just to whatever, like get lucky and counter it, because that's what you gotta do sometimes. Sometimes you have to play suboptimal cards because they counter, you know, the big thing. Because in the last format it was Kasmina's Transmutation, Cavalier, that would that would do everything. Luckily we have, if we can get this Cavalier sooner, maybe we can be done with this garbage card. But if he pulses it back, I'll just poop my pants. So you can punch us for 5. I'll just eat it. Like we could shrink it and block and take nothing. But the payoff of, we have to be a little greedy here in a game that's like insanely about resources, this matchup, and have to just play Garagos, hope that sticks around. And we have 3 cards in our hand that'll help him fight stuff throughout the game. If he can't interrupt us, I think we're in a good spot here. We should be very careful with how we do things. Alright, so we'll drop this forest here. We're going to Rabid Bite, and rather than having it fight, it deals damage to power. So we're going to make sure that deals damage to the Thorns because it's less damage coming at Garagos. So we're going to have him kill the Lavakin Brawler. Deal damage to power. we have Feral Invocation as backup. Sure, he gets the thing back. He'll get back a brawler. Okay. And then we could send in our boys, and maybe like Feral Invocation save a Sentinel punch dude if we have to. But we could also just hold up these removal spells. Yeah, as long as if we could turn this around, like not like turn on the match basically, and my frustrations with reach. All right, I'll just take 10. Like I think this is a great game for us. We have Befuddle and Feral Invocation. Like I think we're in a good spot. Ooh, Pulse. Okay. Oh yeah. I said last game you can't pulse back the Cavalier, but yeah, you can pulse back Thicket Crasher. And yeah, we'll take it. Whatever. It's a 1-for-1. He paid 3 mana, gained 6, got back a dude, but that's still 1 card for 1. For grosser things, that's when pulse gets real bad. But for a Thicket Crasher, whatevs. He's tapped out now. Alright, so we can Befuddle Befuddle on our turn is a lot less effective if we're trying to like smash in, because we'd have to shrink our own dude. But it is flexible and that could be used against their guys. But given the board state now, we're going to target our own guy, have Garagos fight the Thicket Crasher, as it is the biggest boy on the table. Dope, draw a card. Now we have an island. We have triple blue for a Tempsis. But yeah, I think we're going to just go Feral Invocation, have Sentinel get the +2/+2, have Garagos fight Brawler. But then we risk like him having his Garagos. So I kind of like holding off on that and just getting in for this attack right here. He could just chump block, which is still fine for us because he lowers the elemental count. He won't though because he has Balls of Steel. We'll drop a Tempsis. Maybe it's a woman. I don't know. I keep saying he, but we're doing all right. Fire Elemental hitting the board 5/4. But you know what? We're really pissed. So I think we're doing a good spot. He tapped his dude to play a dude. No problem. It's a smaller dude. It can't even block Sentinel that well. He scoops, and we take his lunch money and steal his pants while we're at it. And now, continue on. Angry as hell about reach. Oh my god. But I'm happy I won the game. We broke even already. We drafted some good stuff. And we're going to keep going. Using this newfound passion, this learning experience about reach. About Magic Arena and my frustrations with it sometimes. And about, like, we could have just... I could have gotten just pissed and scooped the whole match there. But we played it out. And we got rewarded for it. Right? We didn't take the loss as a reflection of our character and subconsciously and get pissed at ourselves. You know, like, maybe a little. But for the most part, we just kept playing, right? In baseball, and when a reliever comes in the 9th inning, like, yeah, he can blow the game, sure. If it's the top of the inning, letting up 1 run and blowing the game is a lot different than giving up and letting up 3 runs and getting pulled out, right? Like, sometimes you just got to do stuff. So we're going to go... He has Audacious Thief, which attacks really damn well. I want to stop that thing right in its tracks. We're going to attack. If he offers the trade, we're going to pump it out of the trade. But if not, we'll just Stonewall it with Voracious Pup. And now we stop this thief. This Chief Thief. Who's such a great card. Oh, no, that's the combo right there. Now we can tap and, yeah, like, we can't block it. We can't stop it. Get punched. And we have no way to interact with it that well. So, but we can smash him in the face for 4. And and drop it like a spider. We do have Garagos coming down and 2 spells. Oops, attack with the Young Wolf. Whatever. Doesn't matter. We'll do that for the BMs. But Garagos, like, he's going to help us catch up a lot. But Audacious Thief gets so much card advantage. Oh my god. And the fact that he has a Smuggler combo, he's golden. But that does mean he has to tap it, and that means, like, he is vulnerable to attacks himself, and while he's hitting us for 4, he's hitting himself for 1, and we're dealing 6 to him. So he needs to continue to develop his board, and we're going to pressure him for that. Alright, Spitfire. That might incentivize us to hold back a little bit. Maybe we just go for it. We just send all our guys in, and if he goes for the block with Spitfire, we go for Feral Invocation. Just to make sure it's out of the park. Oops. Kind of gives us like the same result we wanted, which was a creature of ours bigger, a card of his dead. And now, like, yeah, now if our opponent sends them in, we are houmping right back. So that seems pretty good. We even got the Befuddle if we can't get to Garagos, but we have a little racing situation. Befuddle can save us 4 life, save one of our creatures, help one of our creatures win combat. It's a good flexible card, which is nice. Not happy to be playing it all the time, but when you gotta play it, you gotta play it. Alright, see, our opponent's at such a low life total. We're so ahead on board that now he's gonna pay for it, right? He didn't hit his 2-drop at the beginning of the game. He has been swinging in and getting a lot of cards. But here's the last and most important rule about card advantage is if you die with 5 cards in your hand, your opponent just got 5 cards up on you, right? Like, your life total is a resource, and it's a resource similar to how your cards are, in that at certain points in the game, like, your life total will matter, and when it does, you'll get punished, right? And this is our opponent getting punished right now for us having a great start, for him paying life with Audacious Thief. But yeah, his strategy's sweet, and, like, I'm surprised this is working out the way it did, but it's working out. We're swinging for 7 now after that shock. Our opponent could trade. He's trading with the Thief because his life total is so low. He's chumping with the Thief because his life total is so low. Hot damn. So we could save our wolf and befuddle his smuggler, but we have an Octoprophet, so I'm down to hold on to this. Have the mana for the Octoprophet. He's got the Blade Brand. I will befuddle that though, I think, right? It doesn't stop the Blade Brands is the issue. But it does save our Spider, who is quite the swole bro, but he's swoller than the 3/3. So I'm down to save it. We should have tapped, not done auto tap, and leave a green and blue open in case we draw Plummet and he gets a flyer of some sort. Blade Brand's similar to Befuddle, but more potential to get blown out. Because not just in, like, buy a Befuddle. We're gonna drop this Forest here. Now we're at 6 mana. I hope my dog be quiet. Stupid dog. Alright. Audacious Thief. Our opponent can't even attack with it. 3 mana 2/2. Nice creature, bro. And we'll just smack him. Bone Splinters, that's the best that thing's gonna be. Our opponent's at 7. We punch him a 6. You know, we'll hit him with the pup for BM. Just make him feel even worse. And then we don't have to show the Garagos. And I'm down to just not to. And we don't have anything to fight anyway. because I think we're so ahead on this game, with the Cerulean Drake, with the Frost Lynx. If we can I think we're so ahead. If we could avoid showing him the Gyarados, that'd be nice. So yeah. Frost Lynx. And now he scoops. And he doesn't know we have a Gyarados. He don't know what coming, and we're gonna punish him real good. And I'm gonna tell my dog to sit in a corner later and reflect on her barking. Red Black. So Red Black, he did show Chandra's Doohickey, but this Plummet's not gonna be that good. But once again, we don't really have anything to sideboard in, but we have a Befuddle. So we're gonna out a Plummet in a Befuddle. If he plays some ginormous demon thing, I will cry, but maybe that's how he got this high. But he has to show it to us, because until then, we've only seen Chandra Spitfire or whatever, and that's not a big enough reason, I think, to, if that's the only flyer in his deck, that and like the 2/2 for 3 that like mills for, I don't think we quite care as much. And I'd rather have the flexibility of Befuddle. But if he shows us a ginormous demon, I will cry. And then I will board back in the Plummet and deal with it. All right. We're on the draw. We have Pup into Lynx, later Tempsis. This hand's pretty solid. We're going to keep it. Once again, a hand that, cut a lands, and if that was our 6, if we had, these 6 cards, I would be solid. Like, I had no complaints. And we'll drop... You could, bluff a Bark Hydro, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really matter what we drop first, but might as well have him think, oh, whatever, he has a 2-mana 3/3 in this deck. I don't know if that changes anything at all, but good habits. Also, because we often do draft Bark Hydrolls when they're offered. Cavalier is a sick draw. Now we have, a 3-drop into a 3-drop, 5-drop, 6-drop sort of thing. Really just quality cards coming out of our hand. He's got the Smuggler. Ouchies. But we will go with the Island card. And Ferocious Pup, if he wants to trade Pup for Smuggler, I am so down. If he just wants to stare at us, I am down too. And Frost Lynx will slow down the game. And once we hit our Cavalier into our Tempsis, it's going to be hard for him. He's going to have a bad time. Flamekin Brawler works really well with Smuggler because he can make it unblockable and then attack, and then the trigger happens. And that's really annoying. But until then, we're good. So we're going to Frost Lynx and freeze down his Brawler, holding Unsummoned Mana open with auto tap like a pro. Freeze down the Brawler and get in for 2 points of damage because we can. He ain't blocking. These cards combo too well, and he's just a great card, an essential piece in getting those last points of damage. And this is just a 2/2. Gruesome Scourger deals damage to target opponent equal to the number of creatures you control, and then it's just a 3/3. That's all right. Drop our Forest here to make sure we have triple green as an option, and now we have the big 3. The 3 biggest boys in all the land. Cavalier of Gales. I summon you. Draw 3. We could put back 2 lands if we want. Let's see what we draw first. One, two, three. Oh, wow. Okay. So, I want to make sure we hit our, I'll put that in one land back, but in case this dies and we have to shuffle our library, I do want to make sure we just hit our 6 mana for a Tempest. So if anything were to be shuffled back, that'd be most cool if like maybe Brightwood Tracker. And we'll have it so we draw the tracker first, then the island. And now we have Big Boy in the Sky. Opponent can punch through, but as we develop our board, we're going to have so much power in the air, and our opponent is going to scream, how did I possibly draft a deck with all three? And the answer is I tried really, really hard and forced Cavalier of Gales Pack 2, like a boss. Murder. Okay. He is dead now, but then he dies, shuffles, scries 2. And honestly, like, I don't care about these Sentinels that much. They don't... Well... We could, like, keep one bottom one, because then on the following turn 6... But then we're even in the market for a forest. I'll just bottom them both. Screw that. Audacious Thief. Oof. Lavakin Brawler for 3. That's a threat right there. But we have Garagos, which I think I'd rather set up because then we can go next turn Rabbit Bite. Yeah, and then we could just take out like the Smuggler and the Brawler. And it also protects our future Tempsis. Like, he does a lot for our board. Fire Cat. And Sanitarium Skeleton, an Abysmal card. And he can punch in for 4. No problem. But now he's got nothing. Which lets us do the Sick Nasty. So untapped, he has 7-8 power. We could just go Rabbit Bite, target him, have him deal damage to scores are equal to his power. Have him fight the Brawler. Don't want to attack it because he can triple block. Actually, no, he can triple block it. We can just save it. Yeah. And if he takes it all, he'll take 12, though. Nah, let's just send in these boys. If we send in just these boys, we do want to take care of the Smuggler. So let's be patient here. We'll send in just the token. And then I think we want to befuddle the Smuggler before he even has the option to like Smuggler Thief, because that at a high life total like he has, that's a very big threat. So befuddle, target him, yes, have him fight this, so it's like fight a creature, draw a card. Seems good. Yeah. And our opponent explodes. As we continue on. Not even getting to deploy all 3 of our big boys, but still. We're great. Sword and Vampire Lord. Hot damn. Is he the Planeswalker deck one? Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's the Planeswalker. Oh yeah, because it's from the tier thing. Does that make sense? He is the Planeswalker deck one. One last game. Let's do it. Deploy our big boys. Don't die early. Don't mess up. Watch out for reach. Make our opponent cry. That's our strategy. Goodbye, Steffi219. We are done here. We'll take the play. Go first. This hand's not that great. We have like Rabite's not a player making with just Cerulean Drake anyway. Plummet is potentially a dead card. It likely isn't, but like it's not going to be playable early in the game anyway. We're on the play. We only have 2 lands, and we only have 2 draws to hit our 3rd land, and we only have a 3rd chance to draw land. So we're gonna mulligan here. This hand's also bad. It's basically the same hand, but at this point we just have to keep it, and I guess we just bottom Plummet. Yeah, because it could just be a dead card. And yeah, we'll pray for our 3rd land. Once we hit our 3rd land, we'll find our 4th land and so on with Wing Words, but solid 3rd land here. He did an oops. I don't want to be rude. I won't emote back. Normally, you know, I like being a little rude sometimes, but I've made that mistake. I made that terrible mistake with the Tempest. I had a rough game. I don't want him to feel that bad, or her to feel that bad, assuming it's like Stephanie. So I'll let it slide. I won't throw a bad emote out there. Seasons of Growth, though, that card doesn't do anything, and we're gonna take advantage of that, paying 2 mana. If you had a 2/2, that'd be a lot better than a card that does nothing. So we're gonna play Wings Words here, and this way we'll have a green in case we draw a Sedge Scorpion. Dope. And swing in Fatu. So because our opponent because they made the Evolving Wilds mistake, and then spent turn 3 doing nothing. Sure, turn 4, this holds the ground. But that's it. Yeah, we're just going to drop Octo Prophet here and just try to find lands. Very weird thing to say, but sometimes you'll get hands like that. So this isn't a land, but we have our 5th land for Cavalier. Cavalier is going to get us to Brainstorm, and Frostlinks is a sick, nasty card. We're going to keep that just how it is. And stare at our opponent as we're about to unleash Fury on our unsuspecting opponent, who probably has a pretty darn good deck, considering we're being paired against them, but I don't know. They're rocking Seasons of Growth here. Our last one had Skeleton in their deck. Like, how good can they be? I'd rather just play a land than this most of the time. This is cutting off my screen. Why so? Yeah, we don't have any good attacks. We'll just drop Caller of Gales. Hot damn. Draw into a forest, hopefully, as that will set up a sick, nasty Garagos and cause our opponent to just cry. And yeah, we took the forest in our hand in case our deck is shuffled, because this is killed. Because we really want to make sure we have that 6th land for Garagos, especially if it's killed. No Cavalier, please. Forgot what the red one even does, but that would be bad. I'm imagining that's a great card. Ooh, slow tapping, holding up a Bluff Shock. I agree. Or just not auto tapping because you're weird. What has the Bluff Shock taught you, my friend? Scorcher. We got our opponent a nice clock. They do get to scry a billion times with Seasons of Growth, but you, I don't know. It's not a good card. If you get like a really nasty deck, something like ours, where and just having like a billion pump spells, sure. We could double block this and just take it out. We could chump it with Pup, knowing that on the following turn with Garagos. But if we double block it, like, yes, we're down a little bit. But actually, you know what? Let's block here like this. And just chump it. If we have to double block it, we'll take that fight a little bit later. For now, we can just go. We can either go Rabid Bite plus Cavalier or just drop Garagos. We do risk Brawler attacking and then Rabid Biting to like kill Garagos. That would suck, but like, I don't know, that's pretty heads up play. And I don't know, if it comes down to that, I think we'll be fine because we still have Cavalier and having our opponent on a 3-turn clock. And we'd still get a trigger off Garagos from the Rabid Bite to take down the Brawler. Or something else. Another Brawler. Build up the board a bit. What a card. It ranges from, like, it's not good defensively, but on offense, these guys get big. I don't see them too small. 8-4. Yeah, let's do it. If you want to target one of my things, target your thing. Okay. Good stuff. Save your guy. But guess what? Your existence is meaningless. Haha. Yeah, so we Rabid Bite, which will let us go Rabid Bite, target Garagos, destroy Brawler, destroy Brawler. And don't think I won't swing at the Garagos because he could cobble up enough stuff to take it down. We'll smack him in the face and deploy just 2/2 drops, I guess. Can't go wrong there. We got the ground covered, blocked well. We have our opponent on a 3-turn clock just with the Cavalier. Lavacan Brawler. That pump spell was hot. +3/+2. That was just good with the Seasons of Growth, but it was a good pump spell. Anyway, let's not admire our opponent. Let's destroy them as we play Frostlinks to tap down the Brawler. Also, like, you know, keeps it as a blocker out of the way. Our opponent's total power and toughness can equal to 7, so if we attack with Garagos and he wants to block with, like, everything, that's cool. Yeah, we'll save the Sentinels back. Like, we'll kill lots of stuff. Lower his elemental count. So we have 8 damage to deal. We can, yeah, kill the 4 and then 4 things. I'm down. The tracker would have grinded us out. It lowers his elemental count significantly. Our opponent's board is just like null and void. We could drop the Pup. Our opponent might just have like that Sweeper card, which is a slight worry, but like We'll drop it out there as it helps us like more so present lethal at our opponent if they don't have that, because we'll have 5 in the air and then just 4 bodies that can attack on the ground, and he could maybe deploy some blockers, but probably not enough. And yeah, against the red-green elemental deck, do we see any flyers? No. Do we take out the plummet? Yeah, we took out the plummet. We'll regret it when we see something big and gross and disgusting. And we'll put in another befuddle. And call it that. Right? Yeah. And we're about to play in our championship game. We have a barbecue going on afterwards. But also Coach is going to take us for ice cream as we destroy Steffi and the red-green elemental deck with the 3 biggest boys that have ever played the game. One kid, you don't think he's 12. He looks like he's 16. He has a mustache. I think he slipped the umpire like a couple of bills. No one believes it. He's throwing 60 miles per hour. Doesn't make sense. But you know what? He's playing the game. He came all the way here. And that kid is Cavalier of Gales. I'm going to kill my dog. We're going to bottom the Feral? Yeah, Feral's reactive. We could bottom that. We're on the draw. We just got to hit our land drops, not die to brawlers, and we'll be good. Dropped a forest, Greenwood Sentinel. First thing I'm doing, if I ever have to live back here again, or have a dog, soundproof my room. We'll go for the block there. If they want to respond and like use a combat trick to kill the Greenwood Sentinel, like they'll draw a card off of it. But there'll be far more disgusting times they can use it later. I'd rather just have them burn it now. And we're gonna go with Pup here. Like it was stupid. Obvious they had a combat trick, but like if we just take one, like I couldn't care less. I'd rather just get the combat trick out of the way before we have our better stuff hit the board. So we know he has a +3/+2 combat trick. If he wants to trade, like it's not actually trading because he'll draw a card off it, but if he wants to use that to kill the wolf, I'll take that. We'll drop the Octo Prophet here, which will set up the lands for Cavalier, hopefully. Nobody will grab us another Octo Prophet and a Cerulean Drake. At the moment, Cerulean Drake doesn't do anything. Down the road, however, it will just stonewall our opponent. Second Octo Prophet. Like, yes, we want lands, but these cards are fine cards to draw. But yeah, I think maybe we just bottom the Octo Prophet, because we just, no matter what we do, we want more lands. Yeah. Like, a land is actually a really good play for a turn for us at this point in the game. And I'll have this really enjoy because he has a bunch of brawlers and stuff, and they don't have trample unless he might have a thicket dude in his deck. All right, Wolfkin Bond. That'll make this guy actually sizable. So Season's actually getting real good this game. And now he's showing Wolfkin Bond, which is better to just take out the creature and Seasons and all these other things. Maybe we board in our enchantment removal spell. I'm happy to eat this 3. It's 3 damage. And then punch our opponent real hard, I think. If our opponent wants to trade wolves, I'm down. And then we can Frostlinks to lock it down. We'll save the Drake. Like, deploying it now doesn't do a ton. Like it'll punch in the air for a little bit, but I like it. Maybe once he plays a Flamekin Brawler or whatever they're called, we can then we deploy it, and then like all of a sudden it's like, oh shoot, my 4-drop was just dusted. Scorcher. He gets 3 scries out of the deal. Don't be a sexist, Mana Shark. Her name is probably Steffi. Like Stephanie. Alright. We'll deal with your 3 attackers. No, you won't. Okay. We're gonna play Cerulean Drake. Yeah. You know, I'll send my boys in. We send the boys in, and they're probably gonna come home because he doesn't want to lower his elemental count. And yeah, then we'll drop a dude. Oh. Going for it, huh? I'll take it. Thank you. Cerulean Drake. Because, yeah, a very threatening thing that our opponent can do is just, like, have a huge elemental count and play, like, multiple brawlers that we can't deal with the Drake. And by lowering the elemental count, like, sure, he gets a slight inch up on the trade in that he kept an elemental out of his spell, his Scorcher. Like, the fact is, we're going to eat this 3 because we can't. This is pro red, not green. Like, I think we still made out well in that. And that because his deck does care about his elemental count and his creature count. We want lands. That is a brawler, though. So if we attack with Cerulean Drake, then we have that coming at us as a 4/4. It's like not each other elemental, just counts itself. So we're going to drop a pup named Scooby-Doo here. Not to be mistaken with my pup, who is annoying. I don't think it's worth attacking now with Drake only to have, like, it's a chump block with a wolf, only, like, when later in the game the chump blocks are going to be more valuable than they are now. Like, it's 1 point of damage. Well, later in the game, like, chump block will maybe allow us to attack with Cavalier or Tempest if we magically draw 2 more islands throughout the course of our next couple of draw steps. Still happy with my Octoprophet Scry and putting an Octoprophet down. Ooh, that was good. See, that was what we were afraid of last game. Flame Sweep. Chandra's Outrage. Okay. Yeah, this will block the Brawler. And, oh! Alright. If we lose this game, we are still the superior being, and we should not take it to heart, as we can block the Brawler. We played well. We just got messed up by drawing 4 forests and only 1. I guess we'd still be in the pickle if we drew, like, but, like, you know, we got to play quite a few cards. Like, we were playing the game very much. Yeah, so we're just gonna... Next turn is probably just our last turn to rip something. And even then, I think we'll just be dead to just him just having more creatures than us. But if we rip, like, a smaller thing, like a Frost Lynx, we can, like, play it, and maybe that'll buy us some time. Nope. Okay, Flame Sweep. Wolfkin Bond. Wolfkin Bond, is it worth even using a removal spell, like, just to take out the bond? Like, should I get... I feel like it just validates a bad card if I'm bringing in a removal spell for this. His deck... He has shown us 2 combat tricks so far. And he just has too many creatures. So, yeah, unfortunately, we just lose dying with the 3 greatest big drops possible in our hands, and just finally ripping land and the best one. I don't know, like, yeah, I don't think it's worth it. because in actuality it doesn't do much, and like we'd have to line natural end up with it, and that would take maybe our turn 3 play away. That would say like it's not a good card. And if you show us other good targets, Wolfkin Bond is not a good target. I'd be more inclined to. But as it is, I just run it right back, right? Don't want Portal. That was a faster game. We're just going to have to destroy Steffi and their will to live. That's our goal. So we're going to take the play, and this hand is decent. We're going to keep the 7, drop in a Following Wilds first, and find a forest, and that'll keep us in the flex for being able to draw a triple blue or triple green. Even though we have 2 triple blue threats and 1 triple green threat, finding a nice balance between the 2 colors is what's gonna help us not only achieve flexibility, but also in the late game be able to find mana for both. So keeps us in the middle. Our opponent took a mulligan, and yeah, we'll drop it at Following Wilds past turn. Opponent has a 1-drop. And this is the best this thing will ever be. So, like, yeah, it's gonna get some damage in. It's gonna help his elemental count, and we didn't hit our 2-drop, so we're getting punished here. Heart Piercer Bow. Do we have anything with 1 toughness? Not really. So we'll just drop a spider here. That'll stonewall this baby. As much as I'd like to do nothing and just drop Winged Words, by getting on the board, we can hold back some damage. Heart Piercer Bow. Did we show him anything small? Are Young Wolves, like... Not Young Wolves, whatever they're called, are 0-1s? Are little pups? Ferocious pup? But then we get the... like, what's your logic, fam? Alright, Smuggler will tap and to hit us for 2. No problem. As we will go Frostlinks to lock down their Smuggler and punch in for 2 as well. And now he can't make that play this turn. And we have a blocker for the Scorch Spitter. If he wants to equip the bow, we could trade with the Scorch Spitter. He's got a Brawler though, and nothing to lose. And we have a Befuddle, which we could use as a Comet trick. A little spicy one. Or we could just drop Winged Words. And I kind of like doing Winged Words. We're at the point where we basically can play our fat drops and set that up. Given that we didn't get our green dude, maybe we just Rabid Bite and take out the Smuggler, because that works really well with the Brawler. But on the following turn, we could go like a Tempsis, and then following turn Rabid Bite, take out the Brawler. So, but yeah, I think I'm down to just take out the Smuggler here. Smuggler's scary when we're trying to like stabilize the board a bit. So he attacks the Brawler and the Spitter. You serious, bro? Okay, if he gives it 1/1 and double strike, like something might die. So I'll block this way and take 4. If he gives this 1/1 double strike, I take 10, which would be scary as hell. But like, I'm not dead till I'm dead. So if he wants to do that, okay, give this a pump spell. I'm at 11. This survives. It's still like a weak creature that I don't care about. I'm gonna drop a Tempsis, and if I get to untap with it, it won't look good for our opponent, because we'll have Befuddle, we'll have Ferocious Pup, and we can hold up Befuddle / just activate a Tempsis. Yeah, his brawler is big enough that we could do the trade, but I'm down to just take 4. Put me at 7, fam. If you want to get, we do have to be cautious about 1/1 double strike, that's for sure. But now we got the double fuddle, as we used to call it, and that hurts our opponent quite a bit. So honestly, I think we might just like play the forest and hold up the double fuddle, and it'll just guarantee that we like kill his brawler. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. Let's double fuddle this boy. And if one fuddle is not enough, the second fuddle will do it. If we take out it with the first fuddle and our Attempsys is still around because it succeeded, we activate Attempsys. And like, while it would be nice to sandbag the land, we have 3 plays on our hand. Like, we're okay. Kind of want like a lot of options. Ping my boy. Okay. Ping. Go to blocks. Block here. Feral Invocation. I'm going to go with Befuddle. So your guy's going to live, but he's not going to kill Attempsys unless... Alright, so now he's a 2/6. If I make him a 6/6, even if he gave him double strike... if you gave him 1/1 double strike, he would live, but if he just... But that's the only card he could really have. And yeah, second Befuddle wouldn't do it. Let's pump our Attempsys. Now it's big enough. His dude dies. Our opponent is out of resources, basically. He's got, like, yeah, Bronzong can deal with the 1/1. Nothing really matters for him. We got Brightwood Tracker. Drop that boy down. We got blockers for his things. I'm down to just take it to the skies. Our opponent doesn't have good attacks at the moment, and we have a Befuddle. Like, yeah, it's nice to activate it, but I like to hit our opponent while they're down. And we'll develop the pup here. And then on the following turn, like, even if we attack with Tempest, we can hold a Blightwood Tracker or Befuddle and keep us in the grind if we have to. Have our opponent on 2-turn clock in the air. If he wants to sack his Brontodon to deal with the Feral Invocation, I am okay with that. We just have to be careful about 1/1 and double strike. That is a way that we can't just be like, oh, I'll take it. Like, you know, we have to deal with things. He'll kill the pup or not. Yeah, if we go for the double block here, he can kill the spider. If he gets a pump spell, like, yeah, he'll benefit a little bit, but I'm down to take that risk. Goodbye, so long, farewell. And this is terrible, right? Like, our opponent's just in such a rough spot. We could attack with everything, but I don't want to get wrecked for no reason. It doesn't change our clock whatsoever. So we just get in for 6. We have Lethal in the Skies. Decline the reveal. We got our second Befuddle to save us from some BS. This will change the clock. It'll give him one more turn, but it's a useless card, so it doesn't quite do enough. And we win. So, after 3 cuts, after multiple takes, after dog barking, some like urgent house stuff, we did it. We played 3 ginormous bombs with a fairly mediocre shell, but we made sure we had a good curve. We made sure we had early drops, and we played to our outs. We were, even when we had the opportunity to go on the beatdown, oftentimes you take the opportunity to slow back, to play the control player, knowing that in the long game, we will win. We had Attempsys, we had Cavalier, we had Gorgos, and we had the ability to take the game super long, play a little greedier, and just destroy everything out there, except for the hidden reach that Cavalier had, which drove me off the wall. But I didn't give up. I didn't scoop out of frustration. I was about to. And because of that, instead of only getting, I think we would have only gotten 2 or 3 wins. Instead of getting a hit, we only would have gotten 2 wins. We went 5-1. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, if you found it entertaining, my frustrations, if you started screaming at the screen because I made terrible plays, be sure to drop that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the Mana Shark, our YouTube channel. I'm really working on finding ways to create content, different content. I like Arena, I like playing, I like broadcasting this gameplay, but I also want to step up my game a little bit and go into a different field of Magic videos. So be sure to drop that, subscribe, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Did I make stupid picks in moving into blue? Was the deck terribly greedy? And yeah, I'll see you guys around. Have a good one.